Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight. So delighted to be joined by Robert Smith. Robert, I feel like it's been a long time. I know it's a busy time for you guys. Huge night here in Birmingham. We've got the inaugural British title between Lauren Price, Kirsty Babington. A bit of history tonight to first. How proud are you to be part of that and to be here witnessing it in Birmingham?
Very proud. I mean, it's taken a long time, but the trouble is it's always been the depth of the divisions, but now we've got depth in the welter of the division, so therefore really pleased we can do this.
How pleased are you with the women's game as a whole? We're sort of moving away from that stigma of calling it women's boxing now. We're seeing this new crop of talent coming through. I think by the time we have the next Olympic cycle and the next sort of amateurs coming through, the divisions won't be as saturated. There'll be plenty more talent. How pleased are you with this sort of surge in women's boxing at the minute?
Really pleased. I mean, it all comes from the amateurs. So we're going to be really pleased with the amateurs doing this job. It comes from the Olympics, comes from Commonwealth Games and World Championships. So therefore we take on what they've got done before, and I think everything's working well, and women's boxing is great, and we shouldn't call it women's boxing, it's boxing. So.
But when we look at that, there's a lot of talk around the Olympics about whether boxing will be in the Olympics. Is that going to be a bit of a shame if that ever got taken away?
It'd be a disaster, complete disaster. If we don't go to the Olympics in the future, it'll be a disaster for the sport, and I hope that's going to be sorted out.
Why is that? Why is this getting taken away when it's been a part of it for such a long time? And we've seen careers born there, whether they've had good decisions, win gold medals or robberies. Look at the likes of a Floyd Mayweather or Roy Jones, people that ilk who've gone on to them tournaments, and they're the birthplace of superstars.
Yes, well, it's the same as all sport, isn't it? Really, you know. So and athletics is the big thing for the Olympics. But boxing is a huge part of it. So therefore, we need to be part of it, and I think we should be part of it, and I think we will be part of it.
Let's talk about Frazer Clarke and Fabio Wardley. Purse bids, I believe, coming up. That's a terrific fight to make. How excited are you, as obviously, part of the board, to see a fight like that with two good heavyweights? Fabio's on a terrific trajectory at the minute. Frazer's got that accomplished amateur background. Keen to see that fight this year? Very
keen. If it can happen, I hope it can happen. I don't see any reason why it can't. But it's up to the parties. The board put the fight out. So therefore, we'll see what happens next week. The board meetings next week. See what purse bids come in and see what happens. So I'm looking forward to it.
Will you be surprised if this doesn't happen, considering I know Eddie's sort of looking at Fabio, taking him around Portman Road at Ipswich. Fabio's got a great following. Frazer's obviously got that notoriety from his days in the amateurs, and he's had a winning start to his professional career. Would you be surprised if this doesn't happen next?
I wouldn't be in boxing. I wouldn't be surprised of anything, but I hope it does. If it doesn't happen this time, it'll happen sometime. We'll see where we go from there. But the thing is that Frazer's been a pro for a long time, really, if you think about it, as an amateur, technically. So he's ready to go. He wants to go. I'm fairly sure he wants to fight. I know Fabio wants to fight. Let's just see what happens.
Absolutely right. Said we won't touch on this for much longer, so I'm just going to ask you the one question. Conor Benn, apparently the documents that everyone's been talking about with UKAD. Pleased that it's finally gone to that agency so that they can review them, and then we can finally get a conclusion to this sort of saga that's going on, because I've heard you've said previously you want him to get this sorted so we can get him back in the ring.
Yeah, hope so. I haven't seen the documents have been sent. Don't know what's been sent, but it's up to UKAD now, who work on our behalf, and we'll see where we go. And as I said many times tonight, and I'd like Conor to come back to boxing Britain. I think his market is in Britain at the present time, and I hope he can come back. And let's just see what UKAD come up with.
He said in a recent interview, I think there's been some regrets on how he's maybe come out and spoke, but he's also said that he wants to come home, kind of thing. You'd be pleased, obviously, once there is a conclusion that he does fight in Britain?
Once there's a conclusion, fight in Britain, fantastic.
Finally, what's been the sort of biggest learning lesson for all parties regarding this situation, in your opinion? We've seen a lot going on, a lot said back and forth. Is there a lot of lessons to be taken away from this, from everyone, whether it be board, promoter, advisors, whoever? Is there a sort of a big takeaway from this?
I think to a certain extent you need to work to procedures. There's a procedure in place, work to it, and then we get things done quicker.
Well, Robert, look, I appreciate your time, and even a ton of interviews. Thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We'll catch up again soon.
God bless you. Take care. Cheers.